Welcome to the deep dive. Sometimes the biggest adventures, they really start with the most annoying chores.
No, absolutely.
We're tracking a story today that was supposed to be about getting a replacement plumbing pipe. A soft plastic one, no
Every
less.
glamour.
Exactly. But it turned into this massive unexpected fish rescue. It's really a tale of logistics meeting pure impulse.
It totally is. A perfect storm of hobbyist luck, maybe. We're pulling this all from one really detailed source, just out. Notes on Fishkeeping, Part 149. Rescuing 24 Gouramis for ponds.
Published just yesterday, October 15th, 2025.
Right, and it really captures that moment, that split-second decision you have to make when an opportunity just lands in your lap.
So our mission today, for you listening, is to really dive into this whole unplanned situation. We'll break down the economics of it, the strategy, really, then the logistics. I mean, suddenly having 24 new fish, that's something.
It's a challenge.
And how these specific fish, blue and golden gouramis, fit into this bigger plan for a community pond setup. It turns out even spur-of-the-moment buys in this hobby. They often have some deep biological planning behind them.
Well, it started with the location. The source mentions this detour was to a fish store the hobbyist had been meaning to check out for ages.
Finally gets there.
And boom, worst news, but also maybe the best. The store's closing, like permanently, end of the month.
Wow.
Yeah, everything must go. Fish, tanks, those big metal racks, everything's being cleared out. Talk about instant pressure.
So that closure flips the script immediately, right? It's not a casual look around anymore. It's a race against time. But they didn't get everything they might have wanted, specifically on the equipment side.
No, that's the kicker with liquidation sales, isn't it? The really good stuff, the heavy-duty gear, those tanks, the industrial shelving, someone else had already snapped them up, gone.
The big racks, too. Those are gold.
Exactly. And the person who got them, well, the source adds this little detail that just paints a picture.
Oh, yeah. What's that?
The store owner mentioned the buyer was setting up a massive, dedicated fish room in an empty house.
An empty house.
Not just a room.
An entire empty house.
Yes.
Just for fish. So, that kind of puts the commitment level into perspective, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Compared to our hobbyist just trying to stock some outdoor ponds.
Absolutely. That's next level. When your hobby needs its own postcode, you're playing a different game.
Definitely.
Okay, so missed out on the racks, but the fish were still there, and our hobbyist makes a snap decision.
A really decisive one. Buys all the remaining gouramis.
Yeah.
Every single one. 24 fish.
Just like that. All 24.
And it wasn't just, a rescue mission feeling. It was hard economics. The source is clear about the price.
Which was?
An unbelievable bargain. MYR1 per fish.
1 Malaysian ringgit per fish.
Yep. MYR1. And for context, for you listening globally, the usual price there is maybe MYR3, sometimes MYR4 per fish.
So wait, that's like potentially a 75% discount? You're getting maybe 8 fish for what 2 would normally cost. Exactly that kind of price difference. It suddenly makes the massive logistical headache of dealing with 24 new fish seem manageable, maybe even smart.
Okay, financially it's a no-brainer.
Yeah.
But let's talk risk. These fish are coming from a closing store, probably stress conditions. Did the source mention anything about their health? Or quarantine?
That's the implicit gamble, isn't it? The source doesn't detail any kind of health check or certification at the point of sale. It really feels like an opportunity by price and quantity first.
So they basically accepted the risk up front, which means a lot of work back home.
Oh, absolutely. The thrill of the bargain instantly becomes the serious need for proper quarantine, stress management, the whole 9 yards. That's the hidden cost, right?
Right.
You save the cash, but you pay in time and effort to make sure these new guys don't bring some disaster into the existing ponds, even if it's just a few guppies and cichlids in there now.
So picture this. 24 fish, a mix of blue and golden gouramis, all bagged up. Instead of a plumbing pipe on the passenger seat, you've got aquatic life. Must have been a slightly stressful drive home.
I would think so. Yeah, logistics challenge definitely fits the bill. But what's cool is this sudden haul actually slotted right into the hobbyist's existing long-term plan.
Ah, okay. So it wasn't completely out of the blue, plan-wise.
Not entirely. The goal was always to get these types of fish, let them pair up naturally in the ponds, and ideally, start breeding, create a self-sustaining population.
Gotcha. But they can't just dump them straight into the outdoor ponds, which is the end goal, right?
Right.
The source implies there's a process. How did they handle the immediate shock of, 24 new mouths to feed?
Step 1, and it's absolutely critical in serious fish keeping, is quarantine. Has to be.
Right.
The source implies this holding period. You bring in 24 fish, unknown history, likely stressed. You need a separate Q tank.
Q tank, quarantine tank.
Exactly.
No?
Somewhere totally separate to watch them, maybe treat them for worms or parasites, just make sure they're healthy before they meet the current residents. You don't want to risk wiping out your existing little population of guppies and cichlids.
So that bargain buy immediately triggers the need for a whole separate functioning quarantine system. This is where the planning, even post-impulse, really shows.
Precisely. And after they clear quarantine, then they go to their forever home, the outdoor ponds.
Okay, and these gouramis, they're suited for ponds, right? The source mentions they're meant for the surface and middle layers of the water. Why is that?
Yeah. That's because they have a special piece of biology. They're what we call labyrinth fish.
Labyrinth fish. Okay, break that down for us. Why is that term important for where they live in the water?
Sure. So a labyrinth fish has this extra breathing organ. It's called the labyrinth organ. It lets them basically gulp air directly from the surface.
So they can breathe atmospheric air, not just rely on their gills in the water.
Exactly. They still use their gills, of course, but this organ is why you always see Gouramis or Betas, coming up to the top for a sip of air.
Okay.
And because of that, biologically, they naturally hang out in those upper and middle parts of the water column, which fits perfectly into the hobbyist's stocking plan.
That makes so much sense. It explains why they won't necessarily be competing for space with, say, cichlids, which might prefer different areas.
Right.
And the source notes the ponds only have a few guppies and cichlids right now. Adding 24 larger surface-dwelling fish, that's a huge shift in the pond's population dynamics.
It completely changes the game overnight. But it's not just throwing fish in, like you said, it's calculated, using the whole water volume, thinking about layers, trying to keep everyone, relatively peaceful in their own space.
Okay, let's dig into that strategy more. The source lays out this really neat layered plan. It's like a 3-tier system for the pond.
Exactly right. So tier 1, the surface and middle layers, that's now covered by these 24 gouramis. Job done there, essentially.
Sure.
But the plan is more detailed than just location. It's about function within those layers, too.
And that's where the existing guppies come in. The source calls them surface janitors, which I love.
It's a great description, isn't it? And pretty accurate. Guppies, they breed fast. They're always darting around the surface. Perfect for picking off any floating bits, uneaten food flakes, maybe algae film.
Kind of like little Roombas for the water surface.
Sort of. They help keep that surface layer clean, which is actually important for gas exchange and things like that.
Okay, so we've got the breeders and main occupants in the middle and top the gouramis. We've got the surface cleaners, the guppies. But there's still a piece missing for a truly complete pond community, right?
Yeah. The crucial missing link. Fundamental for any healthy, balanced aquatic system, especially a pond. You need the bottom crew.
Bottom feeders.
Exactly. You can't just focus on the top half. You need fish down there working the substrate, cleaning up waste, uneaten food that sinks.
Scurrying things up a bit.
Yeah, aerating the substrate, preventing nasty anaerobic spots from forming where harmful bacteria can build up. They're essential waste managers.
And the hobbyist isn't just looking for any old bottom feeder. The source is specific about the types they're after.
Very specific. They're targeting loaches or otocinclus catfish, maybe some type of goby.
Okay, why those 3? Why not something more common? Maybe like Corydoras catfish, which lots of people have.
Good question. It likely comes down to specialized roles and maybe pond suitability. Otocinclus, for instance, are amazing algae eaters, especially biofilm and soft algae that other fish ignore.
The otocincs here. They're tiny powerhouses.
Right. Then gobies, depending on the species, can be great substrate sifters, constantly turning it over, which helps keep it clean and aerated.
And loaches.
Loaches are famous for getting right into the substrate, digging around. Some types are brilliant snail eaters, too, if that becomes an issue. And they generally handle cooler pond temperatures well. So picking from those 3 groups, it shows the hobbyist is thinking about maximum cleaning efficiency and covering all the bases, from surface scum right down to the mud.
That is seriously detailed planning. From the impulse buy of 24 gouramis to targeting specific genera of bottom feeders for Phase 2, it's impressive.
It really is.
And finding those bottom feeders, that's clearly labeled in the source as, what was it, a project for the near future.
Yep, Phase 2. The gourami rescue took priority. Understandably. Get them settled, get the quarantine done, then focus on completing the ecosystem from the ground up. #tag Estoth outro.
So wrapping this up, it's quite a journey we've traced. Started with a frustrating hunt for a plumbing part, and ended with 24 new fish finding a home.
Yeah.
And the activation of this, really quite quite sophisticated 3-level stocking plan for these ponds.
It really brings together so many aspects, doesn't it? The savvy economics of spotting that bargain.
Right.
The biological knowledge needed to pick the right fish for the right layer, understanding things like the labyrinth organ,
Yeah.
and then the sheer logistics of quarantining and integrating such a large group safely. The hobbyist knew the goal, grabbed the opportunity, but also immediately understood the work involved. The trade-offs.
It's a fantastic example of that sweet spot where opportunity meets preparedness, even if the opportunity itself was unexpected. This pond ecosystem, which was pretty basic before, is now on track to become this complex, layered community, all thanks to a broken pipe.
It really shows that in almost any field, any pursuit, sometimes the biggest leaps forward happen when you're forced to suddenly pivot, when you're actually looking for something else entirely.
Really?
And the level of detail involved here, thinking about price per fish, disease risks, water column stratification, it's way more involved than maybe people outside the hobby might think.
Definitely. Okay, so for our final thought today, something for you to chew on, let's go back to that competitor.
Ah, the one who bought the racks.
Yeah. The hobbyist who bought the tanks and racks because they were setting up a fish room in an entire empty house.
Right. Dedicated real estate.
It really makes you wonder, doesn't it? In any deep interest, could be collecting stamps, could be coding, could be fish keeping. When does it tip over? When does a hobby stop being just a hobby and become this full-scale logistical operation that literally needs its own building?
That jump from casual passion to, well, a dedicated logistical empire needing its own physical space.
Yeah, where's that line? That's something to think about until our next deep dive.